Yeah. So anything, for example, you want to, you are, most of you may be in college, right? And you wanted to build this startup where you will do this and that, right? So you have the idea basically. I know that you have the idea. Everybody is in their life, they have mostly thought of some startup idea. Maybe they couldn't build. Some people do, some people don't do. That's up to the environment, and that's up to your courage, that's up to your motivation, these things. But still, you can design the idea first. Okay, you want to help stray dogs, you want to help people visit places like travel places. Okay, you want to build an app where salaried people who are kind of getting paid and they want to travel their parents. Basically, my parents say that I want to travel this place. Okay, so there is, I mean, I have to basically do everything for them, like book the tickets, these kind of things I have to do for them. But can you build an app that solves this problem for them? So I go on the platform. These are the packages. You are coming from Hindu religion, so it will be like some temple place. If you're coming from Muslim religion, it will be some other place. These kind of things you can do, and you can build something into it. But write it down first. That is the first part. Second part that's come to the picture, layout the idea. Okay, now I'm going into the tech side of it. What does I mean by that? I mean by that key, you are basically have the idea right now. Let's start, sketching it out, what your app will look like, what your website will look like. That is major part actually. Okay, you want to do that. Fine. Now here is a twist. Here is a twist. It's called, in general it's called product design. Okay, so the twist here is, when you start designing the layout, right, what will happen is you will have to come across this one major concept that's called product thinking. What does I mean by that is, every product that you can think right now is basically going through a lot of thinking behind it. Why this feature needs to be implemented? Why this search icon needs to be on top, not on bottom? Okay. Why this message should have a icon? Okay. These kind of things you will have to take care of. So these are a couple of things that goes behind the product thing. It's a lifelong process. First, initially, when you are totally new to design, what you will do is you will basically start with, um, say, looking at other products first, and then you will start developing something out of it. Correct? That is how I see it. Okay. Anyways, so that is called product thinking. Oh, there is a lot of thinking goes behind this. Anyways, anyone here? I mean, I'm meeting you. Yeah. Anyways, so this is called product thinking. Fine. It's a lifelong process. You can start developing things and then you will see it. Fine. Now the third part that comes into the picture is called wireframing. So basically you have ideated the idea, then you have sketched out the idea, then you start with wireframings. Wireframing is pretty simple approach. What we are doing is basically we are putting things screen by screen. On which screen what should happen. On sign up screen we should have Google authentication or email or ID password or something like that, right? Then on this page, dashboard page, I will show this thing first and that thing later. This color should be this, that color should be that. We do that in this. Okay. So we'll start with wireframing in today's class. And then we come across is something called prototyping. Prototyping is pretty simple. You basically design this whole product, then you put all these pieces together, and then you make sure ki it is visible. It is, it is like a more like a visible to people, like how they should interact with this. So you give that design prototype to people, and they will start using this app, and then they will know that okay, this is where the problem is. How they are perceiving this feature, how they are perceiving this knowledge, these things, they'll tell it to you, right? And everything that goes behind it, it's basically hidden in prototype. You are basically showing the complete app in design to them. You're not showing how did you manage this to build this component, why did you design this component. All of that thinking is basically gone from prototyping stage. You are simply going in the market, showing it to people. If people like it, good. If they don't like it, bad. Fine. So then you redesign something else. Correct. In today's class, we are going to talk about Netflix. Netflix you have already seen basically. Most of you may have seen it on phone or you know on laptop, right? So let me just come to this Figma screen. Okay, Figma is a platform where we are designing things. Okay, so this is where we design things. So this is what we have. It's called 2 hour design. And how we come across this? How do you create this? You come across drafts, and then you find these things. New design file. You can create your new design file. That's totally possible. I'm sorry. Anyways, you come across this page. Then you come across this page. Fine. And this is our images that we are going to use here. Okay, these are the images. I'll show you. I'll walk you through the whole thing basically here. Okay, I'll walk you through everything. These are images that I have taken. Okay, and what I've made out of them. These are these basically. This is what I've made in the first session, first workshop. So you have taken a couple of workshop out of them. So this is how it is looking. If you can make something like this, pretty good. There is no problem at all. It's just that you're not thinking. Basically, everything is designed it already for you. Simply use it. That's fine. No problem at all. Fine. This is how it is looking right now. Anyways, we'll not be getting inspired by all of this. We'll simply create our own version of this. Okay. That is another thing. So let's put everything. And if you have been using this, how do you know all these controls and all? Because you have been using, if you have been using Microsoft Paint or something, it will somewhat make sense to you. Basically, basic understanding of laptop is enough. Okay, so let's get started with this particular approach. Okay, if you want to make this particular screen, so let's start with this. Okay, let's put it here and start individually. So this is our screen. So to design a screen, we use this frame actually, and this called frame. In frame, we have couple of options. We have options like iPhone 14, iPhone 14 Pro, or for which screen you want to design. So let's say you want to design for iPhone 14 only. Okay, then you come across here and you make sure that there is a line that is coming. If you take a look at this line actually shows that what is the alignment status. So it is aligned right now. Then you can do one thing. You can actually put everything. You can make change the shape of this image to something like this. But the problem is, yeah, the problem is this image is actually shrinking down, which we don't want. So what do? We actually do it like this. But again, this height can also be shrinking down. So we have something called shift key, right? So if you click on shift key, it actually goes into proportion. It does not shrink down. It doesn't do anything. I've clicked shift key right now, and it looks like this. So this is how we do it. Shift key is mostly used when you are building things symmetrical. For example, square is symmetrical and rectangle is not. So if you want to make a square, then you will have to use shift key for that. Anyways, so this is our screen, and if you see this, it has this name here. We can change the name to dashboard or something. Okay, that's up to us to decide. And this is our frame that is created. If you can take a look at this, it is our frame. It is having same icon as hash, right? This and this is our frame right now. And these are other things are there which I'm not going to talk about. This is called pages. We have couple of pages here. These are pages, normal pages. We designed last time. We designed Shah Rukh Khan page. I mean, this screen actually we designed, right? We also designed Spotify as well. So this is what we designed actually in last class, last session workshops. Okay, and here we are designing Netflix right now. Okay, so let's start with this, and that is first thing we did. Now let's do one more thing. We have right now, if you take a look at this image that you are seeing right now, it is like the blur of old image. We cannot deal with this right now. It may be complex right now. So what will we do is we'll put the color to it. And to put the color on something, we first have to select it. So we basically select this. And if you take a look at this whole setting changes. If you unselect it, nothing is selected right now. And this setting is having nothing right now. Okay. Everything is everything is kept this way only. Fine. Everything is kept this way. We'll talk about local stylings and all these kind of things. We'll see that. Fine. So we have our page right now and we have to design basically. Okay. Now, if you take a look at this, these are a couple of things we need to talk about. Prototyping we'll talk about later. We'll talk about design first. So on page, if you see, you have this icon here. It says color here. Okay. Color you can put any color. You're very much into laptop or something, right? So I don't have to tell you how to change color and all. Everything is pretty much visible to you. I don't have to explain how to use this panel. You can design your own way, you can do these things. That's up to you. Plus you have to do some experimentation here as well. We cannot teach you everything. I am giving you the fundamentals, then you can take them forward. Then these are some text stylings that are coming. You can create a text styling like this text styling where font is enter, color, families, font family is enter, and then font weight is black, right? Okay, and these things are there, right? So you will understand if you start using them. Basically, you cannot simply see and understand. It's more like mathematics. You cannot learn it by looking at it. Okay, you are supposed to do things, okay, and then share it with us. We'll guide you how to do better, design and all. Anyways, so let's start with the first thing, that is this page. Basically we start from top to bottom. So we'll do it with this, like we go from this place and then we have these icons here and this content here. But before that, we want to put the color to it, and we have this fill color, which means it is filling up the color to this page. We can move this around, we can change the color to this, okay. But we also have something called this icon. This icon is actually having predetermined colors, where we are determining our predetermined color, that is Netflix BG, Netflix background. So this is our background. It will look like. Fine. How did we come across this Netflix background thing? How did we create this thing? To create any color, basically, what you do is, okay, what you do is basically you are putting a color onto this image. Say that color is, say, somewhat green, right? When you're putting a green color and you want to use it at multiple places. To do that, you can put it into a stylings. How do you do that? You click on this, then you click on here actually. You can treat it as stylings. You can put the name, and these lists that you are seeing, these are also designed by this only. Okay. So the point is you can create ABCD, whatever you want to create, right? And you can utilize at multiple places. And every place you will use this color. If you change this color, for example, if you change this, I added this color, Netflix color here, right? Netflix color we added here. If you change it from here, it will change at all the places. For example, if I change it here, it is also changing, right? So it is also changing. So that is the whole point of using. For example, you are dealing with Netflix, and you know that Netflix logo is of red color, background is of black color, and you have hundreds of screen across the page, and then Netflix CEO comes that says, change the color from red to green. How will you do that? Basically, you will go on all 100 pages, or you will simply change it here. So that is the point, right? You will change it here and fix it. Anyways, let's get to this. In the left side, we design one thing at a time. We design this left part first. So we have this sections. So we have this thing called text. So if you click on text here, you can come across this 4 and then 56, for example, and it is looking pretty small right now. We can make it a bit bigger, and we can also give some like this, okay. Or see, we can do it this way, for example. Fine, it is semi bold right now, okay. And then this icon is coming up here. This icon is coming up here. And to add this icon, for example, let me just take a look at this. We have already done this icon before. Yes, we have done this icon. So let me just see. There is a lot of problem that you might have to deal with icons. So to get icons, what you click, you click on this right click, you do, okay. Then you come across this plugins, and you have these icons basically. You can find more icons here, okay. You are free to do experiments with this. We have installed this icon library. So let's take a look at this, and you say user here. This is our user, okay. This is what we wanted, but we already have something like a icon already present here. So I am not going to redesign everything, okay. I'm going to utilize some parts as well. And to do that, let me just take a look at this. Let me simply copy this, icon first, okay. I copied the icon, came here, put it there. And how do you copy and paste? You already know. Control C and Control V. Fine. I don't have to give you any details on this. Fine. Anyways, you designed this. Okay, this is looking bit big right now. So what do we do? It is gone actually. Okay. There is some problem that it is coming across with. Let me do one thing. Let me just If we cannot find it, we'll do something more than that. But right now, let's put our focus on this part. Let me just simply use this one. Yes, we got it. Okay, so let's detach instance. Anyways, now, anyways, this is our icon is coming, right? And let's make this icon into a bit shorter, basically like this. Okay, like this only. So we did that, then we'll add it here. Okay. Now, if you want to give some space, you can do it with mouse, that's possible. Or if you want to give some extra space, you can select on any item and you can use arrow keys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or if you want to give in terms of 10x, then what you will do, you will put shift and then do it like this. It will give 10. If you click once, it will give 10, 20, 30, 40 like that. Okay. So you can see here we have some space, very small space. So let's give this a space to say uh, 5 or something like that. Okay, and let's align this first. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is what we did. Fine. So we did that. Now it is not exactly looking like this. That's totally understandable. It's fine. Okay, but that's it. Now next thing we do is if you want to utilize this, basically these are two components that are grouping together. These are grouped together. And reason why we want them to be grouped together, for example, if I want to move them around, right? I cannot move them around one by one basically. I want them to be moved around together. To do that, we have something called auto layout. It will automatically create a layout for us. Okay, if you take a look at this, it will automatically create a layout. If you see, this is an image where this extra space is coming up, which means this extra height is coming up here. So how this icon is going to utilize this one is basically we'll see. Plus this text is having the whole height of this whole box particularly, correct? So if you do this, right, so this goes down because this is a box where we can put the content into align left, align bottom left, these kind of things you can do, right? Align center you can do. So there is some extra space you can see here, right? Due to that reason, it is moving into this particular space. Anyways, if you don't want it to move, basically you can give the height of, we have something called frame where we can give the height as well. Fill container we can do, okay, or we can give height as fill container, so it actually filled the whole container basically, right? These kind of things we can do. I think it is advisable if you do it this way basically, right? So it looks fine now. Okay, we designed this container first. Okay, it is not exactly looking like this, but that's fine. Then we have three things coming up here: network, Wi-Fi, and battery icon. Let me quickly utilize the older syntax, older content. Basically, that is this one: icons, and put them here. Okay, and let's do this. Fine. Now we know that there is some extra space that has been added from this side, left, right, left and top. So what do we do is that we basically put everything on the top, okay, and then click on shift keyword, shift button, and then like this. So left and top and right we give, you know, top and right we given this much. Let's give more like this, okay. And we have given 2020, so let's give 2020 from here as well. 1 2 1 2, that's what we give. So this is looking fine. Now let's add them together because these are again components into the row, so we can add them together. One more thing is that we have something called row structure here, and we have something called vertical layout. If you click on vertical layout, it will come up like this, which we don't want. And if you see this, it says spacing, horizontal gap. If you click on any element here, you don't have to know. Simply click on any element. You will know that what it is. Basically, if you click on this, it will tell you that align horizontal centers. It gives you that thing basically, right? So you don't have to feel like okay, there is a lot of stuff that is going. No, nothing is going around. You will start understanding it. Now let's come to this Netflix logo part. So let's do one thing. Instead of simply, sorry, Anyways, it's instead of simply, you know, doing anything here, simply utilize this one. Okay, this is what logo look like. If you want to search for a logo, that's totally understand. I totally understand that part. You don't have to feel like how will I get to know this? How will I know this? You can look at it and you can find the logo. That's very human thing. You don't have to deal with this. Next thing that comes here is the icon of this something broadcast, something like that. We don't have that, so we'll utilize the older. I mean, again, we'll copy the icon here first. Now you're thinking that how why we are copying? We are copying because you are going to copy natural design as well. You are not going to be like it's not cheating actually. It's nothing cheating. It's creative thing. It's more like an art. Anyways, now let's talk about this icon. So it is having a circle and then this line, small line. So we can create for ourselves. We can surely create this for ourselves. And to create this one, how do we create it? We have something called pen icon. So actually I was not telling you everything all at once. I'm showing you whatever we are going to need and simply apply this. So we did not talk about pen icon at the moment. Now we have to because we need it. Anyways, so in this pen icon, it's no, not pen icon actually. This icon, we'll use pen icon as well. So this is a square icon. Okay, we don't want this. We want if you click on this arrow, obviously understandable. Click on this arrow. Ellipse is something that is like a non-symmetric, shape. If you want to make it symmetric, what do you use? Shift keyword, shift button basically, right? So if you use shift button and you use alt button as well, which actually makes the alternative or option whatever you are having it right now, it will be it will make things in from center only like this, from center. Okay, but if you remove shift, it will make in this in the particular direction wherever you want to drag it down. Anyways, so let's use alt button as well. Let's create something like this. Okay, but we don't want fill color actually. We want the border color. This is like a fill color is not there actually. So we will do one thing. We have something called a stroke here. We click on the stroke and then we change the stroke text, content to accent. Okay, and then we minus means obviously remove this one or hide it as well. Hiding is also possible, but we remove it. No big deal. Then we actually make it bit small like this. Okay, then we use this pen tool here. We come here and you click on this and then you add a pen here. Pen is basically added here. So basically you how do you add a pen? Simple. You click on any point like this, and then you do it this way. If you don't want to do shift, it will move around like this at all. So probably shift is needed here because we want to make it into 45-degree angle. Click, that's it. Now if you feel like okay it is not going away, this line is not going away, click on this done button. That's it. Then you change the color to this one as well. Okay, that's all. It is there. Fine. Okay, it is looking like this. It is totally fine. I can understand there is some space that is added here, but we cannot deal with this. It's totally understandable. You don't have to make the perfect design. One more thing, if you take a look at this, it says these icons that are coming here, so you can create these icons and all. We want something like rounded shape, so we added rounded shape, so it gone basically. Fine. So we created our own icon here, okay? And if you take a look at this, it might feel like this is bit bold, but it is not. To make it bit bold, what we have is something called lines. So we can add this. Is anyone saying? Search icon making process. It's pretty simple, actually. If you take a look at this, right, you have this icon here. If you have this search icon means it's a square plus it's a line basically, correct? So you have added a line here, okay, and you have added this line here. So, okay, it is looking like this. So I feel like it is somewhat exactly like this. Okay, it is, but we can make it a bit bigger actually, like this. Okay, we added it here actually. So this is fine, right? So we added this icon and this. Now, if you click on this, both are two things together. How do you know if they are together? If you click on that, is this selected? No. How do you know it is selected? Because it is having blue color right now. Okay, you want them to be together. But if you do auto layout here, it will not properly work because auto layout is more like a layouting structure. We want them to be in a exactly looking like shape. So we group them. So there is something called grouping. To group them, use Control G and it will automatically be grouped. The moment you group it, you can move it around like that. There is no problem at all. Okay, now it may feel like to you there is some extra space that you can add it here like this. Okay, like this. Okay, like this. So we have added. It is kind of bit. So this is fine actually. Now let's come to the third part. That is this icon. That is this square box. Let's do one thing. Let's start using square. We have talked about pen. We have talked about text. We have talked about these things. Let's start using square. I told you square is symmetric shape. So we have to use shift again. We use shift keyword again. Shift button actually, not keyword. Um, See, it is looking like this now. Fine. Now, if you do 5 here, okay, what, I mean, what is 5 here? Just take a look at this. It says what? Corner radius. So we can give the corner radius to 5. So this corner radius will become 5, but we don't want 5. So we can use arrow up down keys to make one small changes. Basically, you don't have to click on 3, 4 or something like that. Simply arrow keys will be fine. Okay, so this is what 2 will be fine for now. So this is what fine. But inside that we have to put an image. And to put an image, what do we do is actually we come across again this something called plugin. And we can come across Unsplash. So Unsplash is a platform where you can find a lot of images. And we open some images for you. Let's search for human. Like a normal image we want, right? We want this image, we want any image. And if you have nothing selected on this page right now, it will randomly put an image anywhere on the screen. If you take a look at this. Fine, if it will randomly put this very big image which we don't want right now. See, this is a problem. So what do we do is we basically select this icon, we click on this first and then click on this second, so it will be added inside this particular thing only. Fine, these are minute things you will learn when you start building things. So I totally understand if you don't understand it right now. One more thing, there is very proper spacing that has been added. So we'll use auto layout for that. What we'll do is we'll basically put the most left element, most right element into this, okay, and most right element here basically, okay. And if you feel like there is some extra space that is not similar, basically this space is very small, this space is very big, right? So what will we do? We'll select all three things and let auto layout handle the part. So what auto layout do is basically it will do things for us. It will automatically align everything. If you take a look at this, it has this space. It says 33 pixel padding. Okay, the space between this and 33 is here again because 33 is actually added here. You can change this to 33 to auto to anything basically. I mean, I would say is like you can change it to 33 to say you have this. You can use dragging basically. You can use dragging feature to move it around. But let's say you want to use 32 or you want to use 24, that is also possible here. Okay, so there is no question, nobody is going to ask on this. We put this into center, align this properly, and then we align it like this. Okay, a bit like this. Okay, now we have created our own row here, like this one. We add it here and we use auto layout again. You will see auto layout term we keep on using all the time because it is something that automatically handles everything for us. We don't have to deal with a lot of stuff right now. Okay, so it is like this. Okay, click on this, auto layout is being added. If you want to move it around, see it is going up. We don't have to deal with anything. It is basically done by auto layouting only. Let's move it around like this. Okay, it is looking fine, fine, fine. This is fine. Okay, now what do we do? Let's make it a bit more, yeah, or very small. That is fine. Now what comes here? TV show, movies, and categories. It's pretty simple. We use text keyword and we have this T shortcut. You click on T keyboard button, it will do that. TV shows. It is done. Fine. Okay. TV shows. Then you know that movies is also having same text, but I mean different text but same stylings. So we can utilize this text that we have added here, and we can change it to medium for now, and let's change it to 14 or say 20, 16 basically. If you want to use same stylings, you can copy this one. You can do Control C, Control V. You can get it here. That's fine. Or if you want shortcut of Control C and Control V, that is Control D. That is duplicate. Say duplicate selection. So it created a duplicate for us. So we can utilize this one. Movies. Fine. Third thing that third thing that comes here is this icon. Okay. Categories. Now everything is fine till categories point. But we have something called this icon here. Let's design this one. See, you can find these icons, these arrow icons all the time. There's no problem at all. Sometimes these are very small icons. You can design it yourself. It's like a triangle. You can create a triangle all by yourself, like this. Okay, but it's not exactly looking like this. So what will you do? You'll put it like this. Okay. You can change the pointers to basically like any kind of pointer you can create. And these are the pointers. Let's use this one. Let's use this one. That's fine. Okay. Now this icon, if you see, it is fine, but the problem is it is yeah, I mean, this is fine now, but it is very sharpy right now. It is very sharp edges. So let's come here, let's fix this using this rounded join. So we have this rounded icon, and it is fill color we have to give as accent and strong. I mean, this color we don't want to give, but I think we have to give because to make these sharp edges. Anyways, we add this icon here like this. Okay. If you don't want to deal with the spacing and all, simply choose two elements, auto layout them using auto layout, I mean, like this, and then give spacing from here, say 10 pixels. That is enough, right? That is totally fine. Or you can give it something like 6 pixel as well. It became a bit bigger, but fine. Again, we'll do one thing. We'll put the most right element like this into this, okay, and most left element into this, and remaining item will automatically be handled. If you select all of them and put auto layout, it will automatically be handled by this only. Fine. So this is it. Basically, this is we created at the moment. And if you are not sure if it is actually in the center of the screen, click on this and you have this icon called align horizontal centers. So it will automatically do the job for you. See, this is what it is looking right now. We can make it a bit closer, but that is fine. Or we can change this to a bit like this only, 26, and align it. This is fine. Okay. Actually, we have some extra space here. So it's very subjective thing. It depends on person to person how they handle it. Fine. Now, this is it. That's the job. We have this image here, nothing to worry about. We are not dealing with image, but we can add the square box. It is not actually square, so we'll not use square, but we use this box. Let's put it into center. This is fine actually. Let's make it bit more. Okay, it looks like this. Fine. We can give some rounding to it. This is fine. Okay, now we have added this. Now let's talk about this content. Witty sitecom assemble. Okay, whatever that is. We are not going to put exactly like this. We'll put thriller. Okay, we can say drama for now. Okay, and let's give some space between them. How do we do that? Using this drama given. So this is like a complete group. Now let's talk about this icon, this this content here, my list. It's pretty simple. It's a plus icon. How do you create plus icon? Use pen tool. Come here, zoom in, do this. That's it. We did that. Now let's change the color to this and change the board, you know, lining to rounded. Okay, that's it. And next thing you do is Control D, auto layout it. I mean, duplicate it and then turn it around like this. Create it. We cannot use grouping. We cannot use auto layouting here because auto layouting doesn't work with pen properly. If you do auto layouting, it will look something like this, which we don't want. So that is why we use grouping here. But it is pretty light, so let's make it bit bold like this. Then we put my list here, my list. Okay, and then we put it here. Again, if you don't want to deal with spacing, auto layout, and then click 10 or something like that you want to do. See, auto layout is being added for you. But one more problem here is this my list icon is actually not very big. It is very small. So it has to be this. It has to be like this only. Okay. Then next thing comes here. That is the square comes, rectangle comes, white color rectangle comes. Then this icon comes. Then this play button comes. Let's do one thing. Let's create this icon first. Okay. And let's give it to 5 pixel. Let's change the color to play and let's make it bit bold because it is bold. How do you know it is bold or not? You will start understanding it alongside. Basically you will start developing things, I mean designing things, then you will start getting it, why it is bold, why it is not bold. Anyways, you come here, you have to again create a rectangle, triangle. Basically triangle is created, then you come here and you put dark color here. This is our pre-created color. You can create your own color, that's up to you. And then that is fine, but we can give the like this. Okay, so this is what is created right now. These two items are equivalent, so we can give them spacing as 16 pixel for now. And this icon needs to be somewhere into this particular box. Okay, and to do that, basically we can put it into center first and then auto layout again. But it is looking pretty bad actually. We cannot. So to undo it, basically you use command shift and G to undo it. Let's make it bit small. I mean it is pretty big right now. Okay, let's make it bit small like this. And let's not use 5, let's use 3 or 2. Is this looking fine now? mm, is this looking fine? Kind of not. So I think we can be fine for now. Okay, content is being added here. Okay, no big deal. Now let's come to the info part. It has a circle and I as text will add here. How do we do that? We copy this one because it is exactly looking like this. Okay, undo it. I mean, uh, then what we do is we basically use ellipse button and we align it like this. Okay, now we want stroke here. We don't want fill color here. Okay, like this. This is fine actually. We can give it 2. Let's see if 2 will be enough for us. Yes, it kind of will be enough for us. And it's not exactly like this, so we'll add this extra space here because it is not exactly looking like this. Anyways. And then we'll simply add text. So it's more like a jugaad thing for you. Okay, it's not like exactly how you wanted it. Okay, you can use your jugaad here. It's totally normal. Sorry. See, we added it here. Okay, auto layouting added here. And no need to worry, auto layout will have handle for us 10 pixel. Okay, we added it 10 pixel. Fine. Again, you do the same thing. Basically, you put the content into the most right and most left, and remaining element will be handled by automatically, like automated. Okay, like this. This is fine now. Let's put them into center. This is coming into center right now. We can give some extra, or we can give this to board or something like that. We can do. Yeah, this is fine now. There's no big deal actually. So till this part, is everything clear to anyone? Anybody have a doubt? Anybody have a question? You can use this reactions if you feel like, and let me know. Everybody's clear till this point? You can put in the chat if you feel like. Okay, fine. So we have something called text here. We have something called desi and chill. So we'll add this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What did I do? Mistakenly I added it. Anyways, chill. Now we know that this text is more like very big text, right? Like this, and it is coming somewhere here. Coming somewhere here. Fine. These square boxes are coming. So we'll add these square boxes, and that is it. We're not going to design the exactly looking like this. Okay, this is what we did. We can give some like this, okay, okay, and then we duplicate it here and give 10x here. Then that's it. So we did that. That's that's one thing we wanted to show. Fine. So we have our icon here. You can put any images that you want to put. That's up to you. We are giving you the assignment to do that. You can put your own content into it. That's totally understandable. Okay. Now let's talk about this image. Let's put this image somewhere here. Okay. Let's align this first. We have this image of a movie named Kantara. You might have watched this movie. Now, what will we do is, if you take a look at this, it is the bottom content is looking exactly like this. So let's design this bottom first. More like this will do. Okay, and then we'll remove this content. We'll remove this content. We'll remove everything actually here. Okay, we'll create this square box first. And to create a square box, all we'll need is this content. Now, if you put this 5 here, then this corner will also become 5, but we don't want because it is not here. To give to give it proper way, we can give it top. Okay, so we want 5 here. We want 5 here. That's it. Okay, that's it. Then we have two buttons. We can add two buttons of our own. We can find them on internet to do that. For now, I'm putting them is like a normal square boxes. I mean circle boxes. And to add these circle boxes like this, all you have to do is put the gray color here, give them 10, 10 like this, then duplicate it, merge them together, give them 10 like this. Okay, like this. Okay, this is what we did. Fine. Now we can put this like movie name that you want to do. Put it here. Okay, we can give the movie name to something like, and we can give it to bigger name basically like this. Okay, we can change the text color here. There is no problem at all. It says new, new, right? So new is, we know that it is not very big text. It is not very, if we can give it 14, it will also be fine. Let's change the color to something like a green color. Okay. Or we have something called this icon, eyedropper, which means it will be taking the I mean exactly this color only. This color. So this color has been added here. Okay, this color has been added here. Anyways, then everything is about text only, so I'm not going to much. We'll put 16 here. Okay, this is fine now. Okay, then we'll text as 2 hour 27 minute. For example, if I give this, okay, that is fine. And then last part that comes here is this HD icon. To add HD icon, what do? We put the square again. Okay, and then we give the color like this and like this. Okay, 2 pixel. And in that one, we put our text here. And this text should be like this. And this text we can make it a bit small. We can make it bit I think we can make it very small actually. We can make it like this, and we can align it like this. Okay, this is what we can do. We have 4 items. Let's align them properly. Everything is fine now. Okay, it looks like this. And let's align this one as well. Give it some space, say 10 pixel. That is totally fine. Then we have this icon. We can design this icon actually, this button, or we can utilize this button as well. So let's try utilizing this button. Okay, there is no problem at all. Let's see if it will be working fine as expected or not. So it is going this way this year. It is not exactly looking like, so it can go in both the directions like this. See, it can go into the both the directions. But the problem is it is not exactly working properly in that sense, if you say so. Anyways, no big deal. We can still utilize this part here like this. Okay, and we can put it into center and group them. We can group it together. Okay, but again, it is not going into center. Sometimes you will feel like there is some problem that are coming, so you have to overcome with that. Anyways, then text is there, so we cannot go and design everything like this. No reason at this point. Fine. And then we have our icons coming here, right? And then share icon is coming here. So you can find these icons. Now let me talk about how to find these icons. You'll find these icons here. Okay, you can find more icons. You can click on this icons. You'll find icon duck, and these, like, there are free icons that are available right now. You can find any one of them. Third party, these icons you can find. You can utilize them. There is no problem at all. Okay. Till this point, is everyone clear? Any doubt, any questions? Do let me know. Are we good? Now let's do one thing. Let's start prototyping it. What does I mean by prototyping? Let's change the name to movie. Okay. Prototyping means if you click on this play button, what it should do. Okay. If you click, so you come across this something called prototyping. Okay. And let me do one thing. Let me simply share the whole screen for you. Okay. Yeah. So if you come across this button, basically this button, right, that we have created, this button, if you click on this, it says plus icon. Plus icon means you can add to new screen basically like this. And it says on tap. If you click on this, if you click on this button, it should navigate to movie screen instant only at that moment only. There is no delay, there is no animation, nothing. So let's see how it will look like. If I'm opening it like this, okay. This is our image, right? Click on this. See, opened directly only. Fine. Now, what if we want to give some extra animation that you may have seen before? Okay, you may have seen, say, dissolve. So dissolve means it will be looking like bit in a dissolve mode. See, very small animation is there. Otherwise, it says smart animate. You can animate it as well. Click on this, it will be animated, but it will not be exactly looking like this. Okay, let's do moving. So let's do it like this, for example. See, it will come up like this. Okay, so these are a couple of techniques that we use. Then we have something called back button. If you click on this back button, it should go to back. Basically, it should be going to the back. It says back, right? So it will go to the back. And whatever the animation that it has came across, it will use that animation only. So it does not have its own animation. So if you are using, say, uh, top like this, okay, click on this. See, like this. It 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 goes down, it goes up like this. Okay. So you can check basically, you can observe this thing how Netflix animates this thing. Okay, you can drag and drop how these things you do, and it works fine basically because that's how it is designed. Now you have something called layout in this mode basically, how it will look like in this. These kind of things you can design automatically, right? No big deal. But that is what prototyping technically means. Now let's come to the last part and the final part, that is after workshop part. Okay. So what I'm doing right now, I'm sharing this link with all of you. Okay, and you are expected to uh, give us the feedback, which I mean, whatever you like. Okay, you can tell your friends if they are into technology, if they are into software engineering, want to learn computer program or something like that in general, right? We have our programs, cohort-based programs where we are teaching you everything. Okay, these things you can do. Otherwise, you can keep attending these workshops, join our Discord community, and we'll guide you from there. Fine. Um, One more thing I want to talk about is that if you want to be part of our chapter leader internship, you can join here. Okay, you can join this through this link, and you will find all the details there. And you can apply, and we can get this forward. We can take your interview, and let's see if you are good enough for this. We have a couple of openings right now at the moment. Anyways, that's it from mine. Even though it is supposed to be a 2 hour of design workshop, which is happening in like more than 1 hour or something like that. But yes, it is fine. Basically, right now, all I want is you, whatever you have been learning right now, simply start applying it somewhere. Simply start, create a Netflix, screen, design it, or put your own data into it. Favorite movies you can put into it. Whatever that you want to put into it. That's totally understandable, right? Now, once you are done with this, you have given with the content. I will also share it on the WhatsApp group or whatever the bot that we have sent it through. We will share all the details with you. You are supposed to fill the basic details into it. If you are done with the assignment, we can give you the shout out, which will also be helpful for you as well. From our social media pages and all, right? And we will also try to represent you on our website because this is free. So people actually think that it is free, though, so it may not be useful enough. So that is why we have to change this perception as well. I'm not selling you any content, anything like that, which I don't have to. So more people can join to this. If you have any friends or siblings or something, you want them to join, you can let them know, right? And we can, you know, they can join as well. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for attending. In the next week, probably we'll start with say Instagram designing. So we'll go through this design phase there and design a new interface on Instagram. Okay, great everyone. Thank you. See you there. Bye bye.